Good evening. Welcome to the QCIS channel. On this channel, you get a daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math. My name is Leon Jones, and what I'm going to talk about tonight is operations management. Now, let me see if I can share my screen and go with operations management here. And this evening, again, we're going to talk about operations management, understanding and how we use it. Now, first of all, let's go into operations management. And this is from Investopedia. Operations management is the administration of business practices to create the highest level of efficiency possible within an organization. Now, when we deal with operations management, we're dealing with a subject that's inside industrial engineering. And as you know, industrial engineering deals with optimizing systems. They take the system as a whole and they try to find out how to make the system more efficient. Now, you also have lean practices to reduce waste. Now, on that note, when we deal with operations management, supply chain comes into the fold. Now, what is operations management? Or we call it OM. Well, operations management, again, is the administration of business practices to create the highest level of efficiency possible within an organization. It is concerned with converting materials and labor into goods and services as efficiently as possible to maximize profit of an organization. So what happens is you have operations teams, and what they do is they make attempts to balance costs with revenue to achieve the highest net operating profit possible. So the key takeaways are, when we deal with operations management, again, it's the administration of business practices to create the highest level of efficiency within an organization. Now, this is a key point. Again, operations management is the administration of business practices to create the highest level of efficiency possible within an organization. Number two, as I mentioned before, and this is important, operations management is concerned with converting materials and labor into goods and services as efficiently as possible. And then number three, you also have corporate operations management professionals try to balance costs with revenue to maximize net operating profit. So again, I gave you the definition of operations management. Now, let's see what it involves. Now, operations management involves utilizing resources from staff, materials, equipment, and technology. Operations managers acquire, develop, and deliver goods to clients based on client needs and the abilities of the company. Operations management handles various strategic issues, including determining the size of manufacturing plants, project management methods, and implementing the structure of information technology networks. And other operations issues include the management of inventory levels, including work in process levels and raw materials acquisition, quality control, materials handling, and of course, maintenance policies. Operations management entails studying the use of raw materials and ensuring that minimum waste occurs. Operations managers use numerous formulas such as the economic order quantity formula to determine when and how large an inventory order to process and how much inventory to hold on hand. Important. The combination of understanding and coordinating the work of a company is central to becoming a successful operations manager. Now we have OSCM, and I'm not talking about Operations Specialist Master Chief. That's what we used to say in the Navy. What I'm talking about when we deal with OSCM, it's operations and supply chain management because they go hand in hand. Now, the critical function of operations management relates to the management of inventory through the supply chain. The process is known as operations and supply chain management. So to be an effective operations management professional, one must be able to understand that processes are essential to what a company does and get them to flow together and work together seamlessly. Now, again, to be an effective operations manager, one must understand the processes that are essential to what a company does, and it gets them to flow and work together seamlessly. The coordination involved in setting up business processes in an efficient way requires a solid understanding of logistics. An operations management professional understands local and global trends, customer demand, and available resources for production. Operations management approaches the acquisition of materials and use of labor in a timely, cost-effective manner to deliver customer expectations. Inventory levels are also monitored to ensure that excessive quantities are on hand. Operations management is responsible for finding vendors that supply the appropriate goods at reasonable prices and have the ability to deliver the prices when needed. Again, operations management is responsible for finding vendors that supply the appropriate goods at reasonable prices and have the ability to deliver the product when needed. And I apologize for the pop-up that came up. Sometimes utilizing these articles, pop-ups occur. Let's move on. Another large facet of operations management involves the delivery of goods to customers. This includes ensuring that products are delivered within the agreed time commitment. Operations management also typically follows up with customers to ensure that the products meet quality and functionality needs. Finally, operations management takes the feedback received and distributes relevant information to each department to use in process management. So now, giving you the definition of operations management, I'm telling you what operations management tasks involved, particularly with supply chain management. Now, what are the skills? What do they do? Well, operations management or operations managers are involved in coordinating and developing new processes while reevaluating current structures. Organization and productivity are the key drivers of being an operations manager. And then what they do is they work often, and their work requires versatility and innovation. So as part of their daily responsibilities, operations managers must possess a variety of skills, including technical expertise in areas such as production, automation, data entry, budget tracking, and design. Organizational ability and attention to detail include keeping track of project files, employee reports, budgets, schedules, and other details related to company processes. Motivational prowess in the form of strong leadership skills that provide the expertise to motivate others, inspire ideas, and foster a supportive and diverse team. And you have to have an analytical aptitude, including skill and risk analysis and mitigation when initiating new projects. Operations managers must also analyze processes to identify challenges and offer solutions in the event that negative solutions develop. Decision-making proficiency, especially under stress when there is very little time to assess all factors. And they must understand the ability to maintain quality standards, including as they relate to raw materials, machinery, manufacturing procedures, packaging, delivery processes, and the finished product. Now, again, educational wise, an MBA degree, which is a Master's of Business Administration and Operations Management, can provide global perspective on industry trends and an awareness of financial regulations and political uncertainties that can affect an organization. also provides the solid grasp of the inherent complexities and the tools needed to respond well to change. Now, again, what is the purpose of operations management? The purpose is concerned with controlling the production process and business operations in the most efficient manner possible. Operations management professionals attempt to balance operating costs with revenue to maximize net operating profit. So, understanding the business part of it, remember, operations management is very, very versatile. You can utilize it in the corporate world, you can utilize it in construction, restaurant business. What I've told you here is operations management. It's very important. And you must be technical, you must be detail oriented, but you have to understand business practices as well. Now we get into the systems of operations management. And the modern operations management revolves around four theories. BPR, which is business process redesign, which is focused on analyzing and designing workflow and business processes within the company. See, the goal of BPR is to help companies dramatically restructure the organization by designing the business practices from the ground up. Then you have reconfigurable manufacturing systems, which are designed to incorporate accelerated change in structure, hardware, and software components. This allows the system to adjust rapidly to the capacity to which they can continue production and how effectively or how efficiently they function in response to market or intrinsic system changes. Again, when we reconfigure manufacturing systems within operations management, OM is designed to incorporate accelerated change in structure, hardware, and software components. This allows systems to adjust rapidly to the capacity to which they can continue production and how efficiently they function in response to market or intrinsic system changes. Now, if you're in the manufacturing sector, you heard of a term called Six Sigma. That's an approach that focuses on quality. The word six references the control limits, which are based at 6 standard deviations from the normal distribution mean. Now, when we deal with mean, we're dealing with statistics, mean, mode, median, and tools within the Six Sigma process include trending charts, potential defect calculations, and other ratios. Also, the DEMIAC process, where you have the definition, the measure, the identity, the control, that process. Now you're getting more into industrial engineering. Again, lean manufacturing is another one, which is the systematic elimination of waste within the manufacturing process. This theory sees resource use for any reason other than value creation for customers as wasteful and seeks to eliminate wasteful resources expenditures as much as possible. So going back to lean, just as I mentioned, and you can see operations management ties in with engineering management and, of course, industrial engineering. They are all related because when you wrap them all up, they're all dealing with systems as a whole. So lean is no different. Six Sigma is no different. When we deal with lean manufacturing, again, it's the systematic elimination of waste within the manufacturing process. The theory sees resource use for any reason other than value creation for customers as wasteful and seeks to eliminate wasteful resource expenditures as much as possible. Now, what is an example of operations management? Well, operations management is prevalent in the healthcare sector. The current healthcare system oversees and overuses, again, oversees and overuses expensive technological and emergency-based treatment. So again, an example of operations management gets right into the healthcare sector. It's very prevalent, and the current healthcare system overuses expensive technological and emergency-based treatment. High costs from care often remain uncompensated due to uninsured patients. So a prevalence of services in expensive settings creates a burden on taxpayers, health insurance holders, and healthcare institutions. So, overall, the bottom line, in simple terms, operations management is the process of employing business practices designed to achieve maximum efficiency as a means to achieve maximum profitability within the process. Operations managers utilize organization and productivity to achieve their primary goals. So again, as you heard me before, balancing the efficient use of resources, including staff, materials, equipment, and of course, technology is a key to successful OM processes and by extension to the success of a company. Now, again, as we deal with OM processes, it is very, 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 very. It's a big field, operations management, very big field. Just bear with me here, and just with everything else, when we deal with operations management, you also have to go back to the functions of management. You deal with planning, organizing, leading, staffing, and controlling. Now, again, planning, when you think of planning in a management role, think about it as a process of choosing appropriate goals and actions to pursue, and then determining what strategies to use, what actions to take, and deciding what resources are needed to achieve goals. Organizing, the process of establishing worker relationships, allows workers to work together to achieve their organizational goals. You have leading. The function involves articulating a vision, energizing employees, inspiring and motivating people using vision, influence, persuasion, and effective communication skills. Then you have staffing, recruiting, and selecting employees for positions within the company with teams and departments. Then you have controlling, evaluate how well you are achieving your goals, improving performance, taking actions. You put processes in place to help you establish standards so you can measure and compare and make decisions. Again, operations management is just another form of management. You're dealing with operations. You can have operations management with inside construction management. So basically, when we deal with operations management, let's go back to the screen here. When we deal with operations management and how to understand it, just bear with me. And of course, why does it matter? I'd say functions of operations management. As I pull out a chart here, share my screen here and give you, all right, the functions of operations management. Can I make it bigger? Might be able to make it bigger. Okay. Goals. You have your goals, customer satisfaction. It's at the top of the pyramid. Then you have an inverted pyramid, operations management. It's almost like a Venn diagram. Utilization of resources, profit maximizing. Let's go back to the diagram that we had here. All right, operations management right here. Very hard to blow this up here. Let's see if I can blow it up. let me blow it up the way I wanted to blow it up. So let me go back. All right, might be able to see this little diagram right here, operations management, production and control, production planning and control, quality control, maintenance, materials management, materials handling, plant layouts, process designs, product designs. That's what you get when you deal with operations management. Again, what you do, the functions and roles of operations management, planning and implementing manufacturing plants, managing projects, planning information systems, helping to design and develop products and services, managing inventory through a supply chain, managing delivery to customers in a timely manner, and of course, you're also optimizing quality control. Again, we go down and deal with all kinds of charts. Like to put the charts up here. These are all the functions of operations management. Here's another chart. Bring my picture over here. This is everything that's within project management. So again, when we deal with project management, main function of project management is planning, organizing, and strategically designing daily operations and routine. That is the primary function of operations management. A well-planned, implemented strategy can help in a meeting, deadlines, production goals of an organization. Again, planning, organization, and strategizing the daily operations and routine. That is it in layman's terms. That is the primary function of operations management. And again, operations management ties into industrial engineering and engineering management. It's very important. And it's not just in supply chain management. I know in supply chain management, they deal with ERP systems, which is resource planning. They also have queuing systems. When it comes to waiting, you have JIT, just in time, linear programming, transportation. That's how large operations management is. Deal with lean, you deal with Six Sigma. But again, operations management is prevalent to any organization. It's just another form of management to help a company meet its goals and objectives. And that concludes this topic on operations management. If you like what I just presented, just comment, share, and subscribe. And if you're looking for some political and social content, check out my main channel, the 411 Talk Zone radio show on YouTube. Now, if you can't find the QCIS channel or the 411 Talk Zone radio show channel on YouTube, you can find both of those channels on Twitter. Now, for the QCIS channel, because it's more educational and professional, also find that channel on LinkedIn. Once again, thank you for viewing and listening to this content from the QCIS channel. On this channel, get a daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math. Till next time, my name is Leon Jones. You all have a wonderful and gracious evening.